welcome back to my channel, Lickle Dashy Creations. Today in this video we are going to be working on this basic granny square. This is a great one for beginners. It's a really easy one to do. We'll go through it step by step and nice and slowly. So come on, let's make a start. Okay, so before we start, we'll just go through the things that we're going to need to make this granny square. We need our yarn. So I've got this one here. This is a 4mm yarn. You can use any yarn that you want. I would recommend, if you're just starting out, to just try a DK acrylic yarn. That's a double knit acrylic yarn. They're quite reasonable in price and they come in lots and lots of lovely colours. It will say on the pack what size your yarn is in millimetres. So you would always match your crochet hook to the size of your yarn. This is a 4mm crochet hook because my yarn is 4mm. If it was a 5mm yarn, I would then use a 5mm crochet hook, and so on. I've got some scissors and I've got a wool needle. Got my wool needle for weaving in the ends, because when we've finished there'll be some ends that we just want to tidy up and just weave into the rest of the project so that they don't come undone. So that's everything that we need. Okay, so we're going to begin by attaching our yarn to our crochet hook, and the way we do that is we're going to make a slip knot. And to make a slip knot, we're going to wrap our yarn around our finger, crossing it over. We then pick up the first bit and pop it behind, and then we're going to pull a loop from this part here. Then we're going to take our crochet hook and we're going to insert it into that loop and just pull so that it's around your crochet hook. Not too tight, because then it won't slip up and down the crochet hook very well, but just tight enough. And then with this hand I'm going to create a bit of tension, so I always go around my little finger first and then I use my finger like this. And this is how we create our tension. And then we're going to start off this round by chaining 5. So to do a chain, we're going to wrap the yarn around our hook, and if we twist it a little bit we can catch that and pull it through. That's a 1 chain. That again, that's 2, 3, 4 and 5. We now have a chain of 5 stitches. We're going to join this chain to make ourselves a ring. So we're going to take the end of our crochet hook and pop it into that first chain that we did. We're then going to grab our yarn, twisting your hook slightly to catch it, pull it through, and then we're also going to pull it through the hoop that's on our hook. We now should make ourselves a small circle. You can see my finger in there. This is where we're going to work our stitches into this circle here. So let's begin. So we're going to chain 3 again. So yarn through, that's 1, 2 and 3. And this chain 3 is going to count as 1 triple crochet. So we're now going to do a further 2 triple crochets into this middle of this circle here. So for a treble crochet, we're going to yarn over our hook. We're again going to pop the end of our hook into the centre of our circle and pull it through the back. We're going to grab the yarn again and pull it back out of the centre. We now have 3 hoops on our hook. We're going to grab our yarn, we're going to pull it through 2 of those hoops. We're going to grab the yarn again and pull it through the last 2 hoops. We've now made ourselves a triple crochet. We're going to do another one of those. So we're going to yarn over, insert hook into the centre of our ring, pull the yarn back through the ring. We've got 3 hoops. I'm going to grab that yarn, I'm going to pull it through 2, we're going to grab the yarn again and pull it through 2 again. We now have another triple crochet. So we've got our chain 3 and 2 triple crochets. We're now going to chain again, we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and we're going to work another set of 3 treble crochets into the center of this ring. So yarn over, insert hook through the center, pull that yarn back through. If it's twisted a bit on your hook, don't worry, this happens. Then we're going to grab the yarn, we're going to pull it through 2. We've got 2 left. We're going to grab the yarn again and pull through 2. So we have another treble crochet. I'm going to do that again. So yarn over, through the center, pull up, pull through them 2, grab the yarn again and pull through 2. We're going to work another one, yarn over, end of your hook through the center, grab that yarn at the back and pull it through the front, 3 hoops on your hook, grab that yarn, pull it through 2, grab the yarn again and pull it through the remaining 2. We've now got another cluster of 3 treble crochets. We're going to chain 3 again, 1, 2 and 3, and we're going to work another set of 3 treble crochets into the center. So yarn over, insert the hook, pull it back through, pull through 2 and pull through 2. Another one of those, yarn over, pull through 2 and pull through 2. So bearing in mind your tension, you want this to be loosely just slipping through your fingers. If you're holding it too tight, if it's getting stuck, it's going to make your stitches quite small. So you just need to practice on how you can make that yarn glide nicely through your fingers. I'm going to do another one, so yarn over, insert hook through the center, grab that yarn back through, pull through 2 and pull through 2. We've now got another set of 3. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to work another set of 3. So yarn over in the center, through the back, pull up. It's always a bit awkward when you've got a chain attached, but don't worry, it'll be fine. Pull through 2 and pull through 2, yarn over, through that middle, pull through 2 and pull through 2. One more, yarn over, insert through the middle, pull through 2 and pull through 2. We've now made ourselves 4 sets of treble crochets, and this is going to be all we need for round 1, but we just need to do another 3 chains, 1, 2 and 3, and then we're going to join this together so that it's a center circle. And the way we're going to join is we're going to look at that first chain 3 that we did, which is here, and we're going to join it into the top. So we're going to count 3 stitches up, so this being 1, this being 2, this being 3, and we're going to insert our hook right through the back of there, and we're going to grab our yarn, we're going to pull it through, and then we're going to pull it through that hook. We've now joined all of that together. And the way that I like to then move on to the next round is I like to do a slip stitch to get to the corner. Now this makes it nice and neat. So the way we do a slip stitch is we're just going to insert our hook into the top of this stitch here. So I'm going to just go right through there, and then I'm going to grab the yarn, I'm going to pull that through, and then I'm going to pull it through again. I'm going to do that again right until I get over here. So I'm going to insert the end of my hook into this stitch, I'm going to pull it through, and I'm going to pull it through. And lastly, I'm going to go into this chain 3 space. So this is a chain 3 space. I'm going to just go into the space, pull the yarn through and pull through. We're now in a position to start our next round. So for round 2, we're going to start by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. So this chain 3 is going to count as our first treble crochet. So we're going to do another 2 trebles into this chain 3 space. So that's 1, 2. So we now have another cluster of 3. We're going to chain 3 again because this is also going to be a corner. And we're going to work another 3 treble crochets into this same space. So yarn over. Bit twisty again, don't worry. And pull through. And do another one, yarn over, insert hook into the space. And there we go. So we've created another corner here. So for this next one, we're just going to chain 2 because this isn't a corner. And now we're going to skip straight over to this next corner and we're going to work another set of 3 treble crochets. So there's one of them. There's 2. Yarn over, insert hook. There's 3. Now this is going to be a corner, so we're going to chain 3. We have an extra chain for corners. And we're going to go into the same space with another treble. Pull through that 2. Yarn over, insert hook. Pull through 2, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert hook. Pull through 2 and pull through 2. Okay, so now we're just going to chain 2 again. 1, 2. And we're going to go into our corner again with another 2 sets of 3 trebles. That's 1. That's 2. And 3. We're now going to chain 3 because this is going to be a corner. And we're going to work another set of 3 triple crochets into here. So yarn over, insert hook. Yarn over, insert hook. Yarn over, insert hook. And there's our next corner. This next one we're not at a corner, so we're going to just chain 2. And then we're going to go straight over and work our next stitches into this last corner here. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to go straight into that space. Yarn over, into the space. Some cotton there on my yarn. Don't worry, we can keep going. We're now at a corner again, so we need to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over. one more, and then we're going to chain 2, and like the last time we're going to join in the top of this first treble crochet that we made. So we can count up, 1, 2, 3, here's the top. We're going to go straight through, we're going to grab our yarn and we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch as well. And again, I like to start my next rounds in the corner, so I'm going to continue with that slip stitch. I'm going to insert my hook, pull through, insert hook again, pull through and pull through the loop on the hook, insert hook into the corner, pull through and pull through. And that's round 2 complete. Okay, so for round 3, we're going to continue the same way that we have been. So we're going to chain 3, and this counts as our first treble crochet. So we're going to do 2 in this corner, another one, yarn over, insert hook, pull it back through, and there we go. And this is a corner again, so we're going to chain 3, and then we're going to work 2 trebles in the same space. So yarn over, insert hook, pull through 2 and pull through 2, yarn over, insert hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, insert hook, pull through 2 and pull through 2. Now to get over to the next space, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to work just 1 set of 3 treble crochets into this next space. So yarn over, into the space we go, pull through 2 and pull through 2. One more into that space, and then we're going to chain 2. We now come to a corner again, so we're going to do a set of 3 trebles, and because we're at that corner, we're going to chain 3. So we need an extra chain to get around the corner, and then we're going to do 3 more in that same space. So 1, 2, and 3. To get over to the next space, we're just going to chain 2, and then we're going to do our 3 into this next space here. Another one. Chain 2, back to the corner again, so 3 trebles as always, another one, one more, and because it's a corner we're going to chain that extra chain, so we're going to do 3, 1, 2 and 3, and do our another set of 3 trebles in this same space. 2, 3, chain 2, move to the next space and work 3 treble crochets. Whoops. Another one. We're going to chain 2, work our way into this corner space, and 1 treble, 2 trebles, 3 trebles, and now we're at a corner, so we need that 3 chain to get around the corner, and we're going to work another set of 3 into this same space. So as you can probably see, we're just repeating the same stitches, and we're making our square bigger every time we go around. Oops. Pop you back in there. So time to chain 2 into the next space. Grab that yarn. And if you are new to crochet, you know, just take your time. It will come. Holding the tension and getting your stitches right, it just all of a sudden you will get used to it. Chain 2. I'm going to join again. So we're at the end of this round, so we're going to join at the top of that chain 3 that we did. So find your way into the top, pull that yarn through and pull it through. So that's another round complete. And you can see we're getting bigger and bigger as we go along. Right, now we're ready for round 4. And I'm going to slip stitch my way into the corner. So insert hook, pull that yarn through, pull that yarn through, insert hook, pull that yarn through, pull that yarn through, insert hook into the space, pull the yarn through, pull the yarn through. And now we're ready to start our next. And now we're ready to start our next round. So we chain 3 as always. 1, 2, 3. This counts as our first treble crochet. And then we're going to do 2 into this corner. That's 1 and 2. This is a corner, so we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and do 3 trebles into that same corner space. There we are. Right, then we're going to chain 2 and work into the next space. Three treble crochets. Chain 2 and work into the next space. More. chain 2 and into the corner space we go. We're at the corner again, so we're going to chain 3 and work 3 trebles into the same space. One, 2. Chain 2 and work our next set of 3 into the next space. Chain 2 and move into the next space. Chain 2, and then we're at our corner again, so we'll do our 3, then we chain 3, and then we do 3 more trebles into the same corner space. Chain 2, 1, 2, next space. Chain 2, next space, chain 2 into our corner space, chain 3 for the corner, and back into that same space for another 3. Always do 2 sets with a 3 space in the corners. And there we go. Chain 2 into the next space. Oops. Let's start that again. I got a bit tangled there. Release some yarn. Yarn over. chain 2, we're nearly there now, so chain 2, and then we're back to where we started, so we can join again at the top of this chain 3 that we did, and that's round 4 complete. Now this is a nice size granny square. You could continue in the same way to make your square large, just keep on doing a big one, but we're going to stop at these and I'm going to show you how to then do a border to finish off. Okay, so for our final round we're going to put a lovely border around the edge of our square just to finish it off, and I'm going to start in the corner again, so in true fashion, whatever I always start in the corner, I'm going to slip stitch until I get to the corner of my square. There we are, we're now in the corner. So to start off with, I'm going to chain 1, and this counts as my first double crochet, so we're now moving on to a double crochet, and we're going to do a double crochet in every stitch all around, and we're going to do 3 in the corners. As I'm already in the corner, this counts as 1, so I just need to do 2 more. So to do a double crochet, we insert our hook, we pull up the yarn back through, 2 hoops, pull through both hoops, and that's your double crochet done. We need 1 more of those in there, so we're going to go through, pull up a hoop and pull through 2. So that's our corner done. We're then going to go in the tops of each stitch, and then we're going to do 2 in the space. So if you don't know where the top of your stitch is, you just look for your post, and it's at the top of the post, so it's here. So we're going to insert our hook into the top of the stitch like this. We're going to pull through, we're going to yarn over and pull through 2. So that's our double crochet. We're going to move on to the next one, pop it through, pull through our yarn and pull through 2. That again, I'm going to go into this stitch here, pull back through and through. We're now to our chain 2 space. I'm going to do 2 into this space, 1 and 2. We're now at the top of our stitches again, so we're going to find our next stitch, which at the top of this post. I'm going to insert and pull through. Next one, and then in the last one, because there'll be 3, because we did 3 trebles, and then we're back to the space again. This is a 2 space, I'm going to do 2 double crochets, so the yarn, insert hook, pull through 2, another one, insert hook and pull through. We're back to doing them in the top of our stitches now. So insert your hook, pull it through and pull it through. Insert your hook, pull through and pull through. 1 more here, pull through, pull through. We're now to our chain 2 space, so we're going to do 2 DCs in this chain space, so insert hook into the space, and another one of those in there. Okay, now we're back to our stitches. We're going to find our stitch, and the next one, and the third one, and then we've reached our corner. So we're going to do 3 double crochets in this corner. So insert your hook. That's 1, 2, and 3. We're now back to do them in the top of each of our stitches. So insert your hook. And move over to the next one. And the next one. And then we're back to our chain 2 space. And we're going to continue repeating this all the way around till we get to where we started. Three in the corners, and then back to 1 in every stitch. Two in the space, 1, 2, three, 2 in there, three in the corner, one in our stitches, 2 in the chain 2 spaces and 1 in every stitch. Might be a little bit tight where we've done our slip stitches, but it will go through. One, two, 3, and then we should be back where we started, so we're going to just do a slip stitch into that first one that we did, and there we have a completed granny square with a border. So when you've completed your granny square, if you've made it to the size that you want and you've put your border on it, you can cast off. So the way I do that is I simply pull the yarn through, make a big loop, and with your scissors just snip and then pull that tail end through the loop to tie it into a knot. This is now one of your tail ends or your ends that you need to weave in. So with a wool needle, you can just get one of your ends and then carefully just weave this end through your work to disguise it within the work. Yeah. So we just weave in, weaving along the top, and this just makes the back nice and neat. There we go. And when you've weaved in quite a lot, I would carry on. You can then just snip quite close, and that's fine, and do the same with this one as well. Just weave that in so that it's disguised within your project. The last thing that you would now do is you would actually pop it on a block. Here's one that I've already made earlier on, and what these do is they pull your work into the same shape. So if you're making numerous pieces, we want them all to be the same shape, and it's a good idea to mist these with some water. So just spray of misty water, and then you can leave these overnight or however long you want to, and then when you take them off your block, they're all in the nice same shape, same size, and then you can stitch them all together as a blanket. If you're doing one big large one, then you don't have to do that, but if you're doing small ones, always a good idea to pop them on a block. But that looks absolutely amazing. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope you managed to make yourself a lovely basic granny square. If you did enjoy it, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.